come to Lafayette, but I'm sure I will. We're working on it. Lieutenant Governor Sheila Simon is here. Please welcome.
Thank you very much. What a treat to be here and to be a little bit taller. This is a thrill. I'm here with my husband in the back room, yay Perry, and we are big supporters on a much smaller scale of our own locally owned independent bookstore in Carbondale, Illinois, the Bookworm. If any of you are traveling to Carbondale, you should stop by the Bookworm. But what an important resource for a community, right? This is not, oops, that's my phone. Sorry. Call me back later. So anyway, this is a place to gather. This is a place to get so much more than books, right? This is a place to meet up with friends, and in fact, Perry and I have two friends who met each other at the bookstore and are now married. Yeah, how cool is that? So anyway, we're really excited to be here and to celebrate this and the big proclamation of the street named after you guys. How cool is that? And I think the best way to celebrate today is what Perry and I are going to do right now is buy books. All right? Thank you very much.
So, thank you so much, Sheila. You know, once Ann and I were at a workshop for booksellers, and everybody at the table was instructed to write down 2 words that best described their bookstore. And we didn't discuss it, but we both wrote the same 2 words, which was political and literary. And as you can see, the political part is certainly in evidence today, and that's so great. We've done a lot of book clubs over the years and some writing groups. When we first opened the store in 1979, I was part of a poetry workshop, and Yvonne Zipter was also part of that poetry workshop, and some other lovely women who I've lost track of. But Yvonne and I have never lost track of each other. And I read her columns in Windy City Times, and she's launched several books here. I love her poetry. So when I thought about having a poem for today, I thought Yvonne would be the person to write it. And we're all, except a few close friends of hers, not me, we're all hearing it for the first time today. So please welcome Chicago writer Yvonne Zipter.
Very nice. Thank you so much. I'm going to read the poem, but then I made little copies for Linda, Ann, Sarah, and Lynn, and then another copy for the bookstore. So when I was thinking about how to start this out today, it was a little overwhelming because my history with this bookstore goes way back, and it's very much a part of who I am and who I've become. And then it occurred to me, I thought there are probably people in the city who don't really understand what the hoopla is about, and I thought they've never been to the bookstore then, because anyone who's been here would understand why we're so excited and happy to be here on this occasion. The poem that I wrote, strangely enough, is titled "On the Occasion of a Street Being Named for a Bookstore." And it has an epigraph from Maya Angelou. "The ache for home lives in all of us. If home is where the heart is, how many of us would need to confess a change of address to the one below the purple awning, where a woman sprawls so absorbed in a book, even the racket of traffic cannot distract her? How many folks could tell you a story of when their eyes first met the perfect lines of shelf after shelf of perfect spines designed to seduce us, to reduce us to consumers of fact and invention? Books call to those who love them, from libraries, from the aisle over, from the Band-Aids and foot creams, from bookstores, from shelves in our homes, quiet as the whisper of a page turning or a bookmark slipping into place. but anyone can stock some shelves with a book or 10. It's not the books, then, that keep us crossing the threshold, running our fingers over covers and spines, losing hours, gaining friends. It's not the scarred tables, the metal folding chairs, the sunlight streaming in that make us feel at home. It's the peopling of the place, with women who also love books, who love writers, who love readers, who love to tell you about this one particularly excellent book, who will remember what you like, what you've read, what you long for, what you've said, who will remember you with so much warmth. You suspect that somewhere near, a fire is burning in the hearth, soup may be cooking on a stove, a key is hidden under a welcome mat.
So clearly Yvonne's a wonderful poet, but another skill of hers you may not know was that in the old days, that is the first 20 years of the bookstore, we used to celebrate our anniversaries with having skits. And Yvonne was the main author of our skits, and they were very funny. In recent years, we've had bigger anniversaries to raise money for our programming here at the store. So the skits have gone by the wayside, but they were part of our very fun history over the years. Thank you, Yvonne. That was lovely. I think Lynn and I both want to be in on the act, and we'll try to, well, I don't know what to say. I keep picturing myself sitting in a darkened auditorium with the screen credits in these thank yous and acknowledgments, but unlike at the theater, you're a captive audience. At the theater, I'm always the last one sitting there trying to see those credits that are rolling by too fast. Anyway, who we want to thank next is the new owners of Women and Children First. It is, for us to find people who we weren't ever sure we could do, but hoped over the last certainly decade of our career here, is that we could find successors who would really represent and hold dear and strong the vision and the mission of the bookstore. We still think it has such an important role to play in the city, culturally and politically, and it's just an amazing thing and a wonderful thing that Lynn Mooney and Sarah Hollenbeck stepped forward to be those people. It could not have been more perfect.
Lynn was a long-time customer, and then it came to work here 6 years ago, and quickly became the kind of coworker who took armloads of children's books home at night so she could read them and bring them back the next day to sell them. And she did so much outside of what she was asked to do that a year and a half ago we asked her to be the store manager in preparation for the transition. And things change in a year, and it became possible for her to think about buying the store. And a little over a year ago, we hired this amazing woman, Sarah, who had probably the best application and resume that I can remember seeing. And so won us over in her interview. And then it turns out that she wants to buy a bookstore too. And she's 30. Like Anne was. I was much younger. But it's an old joke here. But Sarah and Lynn, after a few months, figured out that they might be partners, and they might have a couple of ideas and have some complementary skills, which Ann and I clearly very different kinds of people, and it just works because you're all very different kinds of people, and the more personalities and ideas that can be put together amicably, the better the bookstore will be. So I just truly felt, and Ann did too, we had a surprising number of people who wanted to own this bookstore and keep it Women and Children First. And they were lovely, wonderful people with many skills. But Ann and I, hands down, agreed that it had to be Lynn and Sarah. So just so happy.
Thank you so much, Lynn and Linda. It's so lovely to see all your faces. My heart is pounding. I'm so happy. I had tremendous respect for Ann and Linda when I first started at the bookstore. That respect has skyrocketed and exploded in the last 2 months now that I've become a co-owner, because this job is really hard. And so I look up to them every day, and I thank them every day for selecting us. But it's going to take a lot of work, and we need all of your help to keep it sustainable. To show our love and gratitude to Ann and Linda, our co-worker, Jill, who's in the back there.
Jill should.
Yeah, Jill, come on up.
Our featured artist for Arts Weekend.
We had Jill create portraits of Ann and Linda that we'd like to present to you at this time.
If we've started any traditions, one of them I think is that when we have these sort of important meetings with Ann and Linda, Sarah and I always try to have a little gift for them. I just want to thank, I'm not the words person here, I just want to thank everyone for coming out today. I'm just so moved by seeing so many people from different parts of my life. Just these last weeks, the outpouring of support, the people who've taken the time to tell us that they're happy, that we're the new owners. That support has meant so much, because it has been hard. Sarah wasn't lying. I started telling to people who asked me how I'm doing, I started saying, well, I'm not bored. And I'm hoping the panic, doesn't show in my voice. But no, I think it's going to be a blast. I feel so lucky in my business partner. I think it's going to be great. I think we're going to have fun. I think we do have some good ideas. I hope you all come along for the ride and support us in those new ventures. And being the feminist organization we are, all feedback and comments are welcome. We will process those. We will take them into consideration. It might slow us down a little bit, but we're always better in the end for it. Thank you so much.